Hello guys, welcome to the DMS online school. In today's video we will continue with the integrated science paper 1 section B. In the previous lesson I did section A. You can look for it on my channel to see that section, or I'll link it up in the comment section so that you can go through it if you didn't watch it. So in today's video we'll be looking at section B. So without further ado, let's go straight into it. Okay, this is section A, 60 marks. Write all the answers in the spaces provided in the answer booklet. So here you will be provided with the answer booklet in which to put your answers. So this is the question number 1 coming from the human body. The following diagram shows the female reproductive system. Okay, this is the female reproductive system with the parts labeled N, M, L, J, K. Then question A says identify organs L and M. Okay, so let's start answering. A, we need to identify organ L and M. So here we said L is uterus and then M is cervix. So L, this part is the uterus, and then this part, which is M, is the cervix. Then B, explain the functions of organ J and K. So we have organ J, this one here, and K, this one here. So we are saying, first of all, we need to understand organ J is ovary. What is the function now? Because we need to explain the functions. So for the ovary, we are saying produces ova or eggs for fertilization, or you can say secretes female hormones such as estrogen and progesterone. Okay, then we go to K. This K is actually fallopian tube or oviduct. What is the function of the fallopian tube or oviduct? Transports the egg from the ovary to the uterus. So we are saying transports the egg from the ovary to the uterus, or it also is the site where fertilization typically occurs. So this one transports the egg, this one produced here from the ovary to the uterus, or it can be a site where fertilization also takes place. Okay, then C, which organ produces chemicals associated with the changes at puberty. Okay, so from these organs we need to identify one which is associated with the chemicals or hormones that are responsible for changes at puberty. Okay, so here we'll say C, that our organ is actually it is organ J, which is an ovary. So it is organ J, this one, which is an ovary. It is the one which is associated with chemicals associated with puberty. So it produces hormones like estrogen and progesterone, which are responsible for secondary sexual characteristics during puberty. Okay, then we come to D, explain the importance of observing hygiene of the part N, this part here. So we are saying part N, vagina, requires good hygiene to prevent infections such as bacterial and fungal infections. Also, we are saying maintaining hygiene ensures a healthy reproductive system and minimizes the risk of diseases like pelvic inflammatory diseases, which is PID. Okay, let's move to the next question. Question 2 coming from the environment. Question A says identify one cause of each of the following. Roman numeral 1, air pollution. Okay, so let's put here. So Roman numeral 1, what is the one of the causes of air pollution? We are saying burning of fossil fuels, e.g. coal, oil, and natural gas in industries or vehicles. So burning of fossil fuels like coal, oil, and natural gas in industries or vehicles can cause air pollution. Then Roman numeral 2, water pollution. Okay, disposal of untreated industrial waste into water bodies can bring about water pollution. Yeah, so disposal of untreated industrial waste into water bodies cause water pollution. Then 3, we are talking of land pollution. So improper disposal of non-biodegradable waste such as plastics can bring about land pollution. So we got to B, which says give one effect on the environment and living things caused by a or Roman numeral 1 air pollution. Okay, so we are looking at one effect on the environment and living things caused by air pollution. So 1 is causes respiratory problems in humans and animals, e.g. asthma. Then Roman numeral 2, land pollution. What are some of the effects on the environment caused by land pollution? We are saying reduces soil fertility, affecting plant growth. Okay. Then we go to C, which says describe one way of reducing air pollution. We are saying promote the use of renewable energy sources such as solar and wind energy to reduce dependency on fossil fuels. Okay, so let's move to the next question. Question number 3, coming from plants and animals. The following diagrams show 2 different types of cells. Okay, we have cell T here and then cell U here with the parts O, P, Q, R, S. Then it says which of the 2 cells, T or U, is a plant cell. Okay, let's put our answer here. So which of the 2 cells, T or U, is a plant cell? So cell T or U, which one is a plant cell? So cell T is a plant cell, this one here. B says identify the part labeled Q. So we need to identify this part labeled Q. Okay, so we are going to say the part labeled Q, this one is actually cell membrane. Cell membrane. Okay. Then we come to C, which says state the functions of the structures P and R. So the function of the structure P and this R here. So P is the cell wall. Let's talk about its function. Provides structural support and protection to the cell. We can also say that maintains the shape of the cell. So these are the 2 functions that can be said the cell wall does. It provides structural support and protection to the cell and maintains the shape of the cell. You can give one of these, not 2 of them. I just decided to give 2 of them so that you can know these. In case they ask 2, you can give them like that. Then we come to ARA. ARA is actually the cytoplasm. So it has also some functions where we are saying holds the cell organelles in place or cell parts. So the cytoplasm, this ARA, holds the cell organelles or parts in place, or we can say it is a site where most cellular activities and chemical reactions take place here. So you can put any of these 2, one of these 2 here. Then we go to D, which says which structure was omitted in cell T. Like in cell T, which structure has not been shown here? So we can say the cyto or the chloroplast was omitted in cell T. Yeah, the chloroplast. Then we go to E. E says explain one structural difference between cell T and U. We can say cell T has a cell wall while cell U does not. Yeah. So this cell T has a cell wall while cell U does not have the cell wall. We move to question 4, which is on materials and the energy. So the question reads, the following diagram shows apparatus used to obtain clean water from sea water. Okay, we have this apparatus arrangement here that is used to obtain clean water from seawater. So what we can see a round bottomed flask with steam there. Then inside we have seawater, porcelain. Then we have a thermometer there. We have water out into sink. Then we have water in from tap. then we have this apparatus V, then we have apparatus W and clean water coming out from there. Then A, Roman numeral 1 says, identify the apparatus labeled W. This apparatus labeled W. So say M, Roman numeral 1, this apparatus labeled W is a conical flask. Then we'll say Roman numeral 2 is saying what is the function of apparatus V, this apparatus here, which is the Liebig condenser. So we can say that apparatus V is a condenser. It cools the steam back into liquid water. Yeah, so the function of this is to ensure that the steam that comes here, it is cooled back to liquid so that it can fall as clean water here. Okay, so we go to B, which says mention the method of separating mixtures illustrated in the diagram. So this method being illustrated here is what? So we are going to say simple distillation. Okay, so let's go to the other question here, which is C, which says what term is used to describe the substance that will remain in the round bottomed flask when separation comes to an end. Okay, so they want us to actually give the name of a substance that remains here when the separation has come to an end. Okay, so here we'll say that name is actually residue. Then D, they're saying state one industrial application of the method of separating mixtures shown in the diagram here. Okay, so where do we apply this in purification? So we can say purification of water. Okay, then E, what method of separating mixtures can be used to separate water and ethanol? Okay, the method that we can use to separate water and ethanol, since both are liquids but they have different boiling points, that method is fractional distillation. Okay, so let's move to another question 5, materials and energy. The question reads, the following diagrams show two instruments used when measuring mass and weight. So we have instrument X and instrument Y. So these two instruments, one of them is used for measuring mass and another one for measuring weight. Then A says define the following Roman numeral 1 mass. Okay, so say A, Roman numeral 1 mass. Mass is the measure of the amount of matter in an object. Yeah, then Roman numeral 2 weight. Weight is the gravitational force acting on an object's mass. Okay, so weight is the gravitational force acting on an object's mass. Then we go to B. B says which instrument X or Y measures Roman numeral 1 mass. Okay, so instrument Y, which is an electronic balance or digital balance or scale, measures mass. This one here. Then weight, we are saying instrument X, which is also called spring balance, measures weight. Okay, so let's go to the other part of the equation, which is C, which says what happens to the mass and the weight of an object when moved from one place to another. What happens to the mass and the weight of an object when moved from place to place? We are going to say mass, okay, this should have been seen, mass remains constant while weight changes. Okay, so we move to question 6, which is on the human body. It says the following diagram shows the shape of the chest during inspiration and expiration. Okay, the following diagram shows the shape of the chest during inspiration and expiration. Okay, so we have diagram A. We can see that it has structure H and structure G, and then diagram B, it has structure H and structure G, the same ones here. But here the chest cavity is small, or the volume is small. Here the volume is actually large. We see this is the diaphragm, Those are the ribs. I think here the diaphragm is in dome-shaped structure. Here it is flattened. Then Roman numeral A says, which diagram shows that inspiration has taken place? Okay, we'll say actually diagram B. Diagram B shows inspiration, which is inhalation, has taken place. We can see the larger chest, cavity volume, and the flattened diaphragm, which are characteristics of inspiration here. Inspiration is actually taking in air. So when air is breathed in, the chest cavity actually increases, and this is what happens. Then we go to B. B says identify the parts labeled Roman numeral 1 G and Roman numeral 2 H. So Roman numeral 1 G is actually ribs. So G is ribs, and the Roman numeral 2 actually H is the diaphragm. Then we go to C, which says explain what causes the change in shape of H from diagram A to B. So like what causes the change in structure H in diagram A to diagram B here. So we're saying the change in shape H, which is diaphragm, straightens and flattens. Okay, yeah, so it straightens. So straightens and flattens, those are the ones which causes to those structure changes. Then we come to D, which says name the muscles found between the structure labeled G. So there are muscles found between these ribs here. So the muscles found between the ribs are called the intercostal muscles. These include both internal and external intercostal muscles. Okay. Then E, the question says, how does the named structure in D help in the breathing mechanism in diagram B? So we will say that during inspiration in diagram B, actually, the external intercostal muscles contract to pull the ribs upward and outward, helping to increase the volume of the thoracic cavity. Okay. Then we move to the next question, question 7 on health. A, which says, apart from HIV and AIDS, mention 2 commonly sexually transmitted infection. A will say, 1, we have gonorrhea. We can also talk of syphilis. Then B, explain 2 ways in which HIV and AIDS has negatively impacted on the population of a country. So we can say 1, increase the mortality rates among working age adults, leading to reduced workforce and economic productivity. Then another effect is that creation of orphaned children when parents die from AIDS, increasing social and economic burden on communities. Then we go to C, which says describe 2 ways by which HIV and AIDS can be prevented. We can say using protection, which is condom, during sexual activity. Then another one is getting tested regularly and ensuring blood used for transfusion. Transfusions is properly screened. All right. We move to the next question, which is 8, materials and energy. It says the diagram is on an experiment with light using a lens. Okay, so we have a lens here, concave lens. The rays are coming and they are actually being refracted away from the focus, and then when we extrapolate back, we can see that we form a focal point there. Then the question says, A, what type of lens is used in this experiment? Okay, we can say M, divergence lens, also called a concave or divergent lens. Okay, then B, identify the positions labeled by the letters J and K. J and K, these. So we can say that J is the principal focus or focal point of the lens. So J is the principal focus or focal point of the lens. Then K is the focal length from the principal or center of the lens to the focal point. This distance here is called the focal length. The distance between the optical center of the lens and the principal focus. Okay, then C says what type of images does this type of lens produce? So it can produce virtual, upright, and diminished image. Then D, it is talking about which letter shows the optical center. So it is L. The letter L shows the optical center of the lens. This is the point through which light rays pass undeviated or without changing direction. Then we go to E, mention one use of the type of lens used in this experiment. So one use is in one, correction myopia, which is short-sightedness, or two, eyepiece in some telescopes, or three, cameras to correct optical aberrations. So these are one of the uses of this lens here. We go to question 9, which says materials and energy. The following diagrams show a block with a force of 100 Newton resting on the floor from two different positions. Okay, we have this block here, diagram 1, and on diagram 2 we have this block resting in that position. Then A, it says if the side of the block which is in contact with the floor in diagram 1 is 2 cubic centimeters, calculate the pressure exerted on the floor. Okay, so we'll say, okay, they're saying if the side of the block which is in contact with the floor in diagram 1, this side of the block has the area of 32 cubic meters, calculate the pressure exerted on the floor. So say, okay, pressure is given by force over area. Okay, so it's okay, pressure, which is this one they're asking us to calculate, is equal to, then force, we should substitute the value for force, which is this one here, force of 100, so put there, over area. They've said if the side of the block which is in contact with the floor in diagram 1 is that, so that is the area, which is 2 cubic meters. So that one, 2. Then we'll divide now 100 by 250. Then we'll put the units for pressure, which is Newton per meter square. Then we'll come to B, which says Roman numeral 1 says state whether the pressure exerted on the floor will increase, reduce, or remain the same when the block is turned as shown in diagram 2. Okay, we need to know if the pressure exerted on the floor here will either increase or remain the same or decrease when it is now turned in this position. So the answer is that the pressure will increase when the block is turned as shown in diagram 2. Then Roman numeral 2, they are saying give a reason for your answer. So we'll say the reason is that in diagram 2, the same force, which is 100 Newton, is acting on smaller surface area. Since pressure is inversely proportional to area, which is force, pressure is equal to force over area. When the area decreases while force remains constant, pressure increases. Okay, then we go to D, where they say the state two factors which affect pressure in gases. C, I mean state two factors which affect pressure in gases. So C will say that volume and the temperature, these are the two factors that affect pressure in gases, volume and the temperature. Okay, then we can move to question number 10, materials and energy. So question 1 says define energy. So say energy here energy is the capacity or ability to do work. Then B, state one form of energy, we can say kinetic energy. But if you want, there are other forms of energy, which includes potential energy, thermal energy, electrical energy, chemical energy, nuclear energy, etc. You can state any of these here, but they needed just one. Then C, they're saying explain one negative effect of energy generation on the environment. So what could be one negative effect of generation of energy on the environment? We are saying causes the emission of greenhouse gases, particularly carbon dioxide from burning fossil fuels, which contributes to global warming and climate change. Then we come to D. D says describe two ways by which energy can be conserved. Okay, so we can say that using energy efficient appliances that require less power to operate, and switching off lights and electrical appliances when not in use. Okay, then E says describe how one form of energy can be changed into another. So we can say a good example of energy transformation is in hydroelectric power plant, where we are saying gravitational potential energy of water stored in a dam is converted to kinetic energy as the water flows, which is then converted to mechanical energy in the turbines, and finally to electrical energy through the generators. Well, guys, we have come to the end of this Science Paper 1, Integrated Science Paper 1 revision. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give this video a like and let me know in the comment section. If you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, please consider clicking the red subscribe button below and turn on the bell notification so that when I drop videos like this one, YouTube will send you a notification. For now, guys, bye and see you in the next video. Peace.